Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast. Episode 8, Back to the Hood. Oh, you're going to like this one, it's pretty good. Especially if you're from Salford. This one's about when I actually split up with my girlfriend and I had to move I was living in Blackburn, I'd been living there for like a long time. Don't know if you read any of the other episodes. And eventually I had this sort of emotional breakdown and I had to move back to Manchester. I wanted to be back home with my own people, friends and family. But little did I know that I was going out of the fire into the frying pan because it was one of the worst decisions I made, if you could possibly say that. So I hope you'll enjoy this one. Let's get into it. Welcome to the podcast episode. I don't know why I'm doing that American accent. Oh, you're going to love this one. Well, anybody who likes urban stories which involve gangs, violent car crashes, everything, let's get into it. This one is Back to the Hood. Like I say, I more or less fell off the rails. I had a bit of a breakdown, and I went off the rails when I split up with my girlfriend, the first proper long time girlfriend I had. So I went off the rails, and I ended up back in Salford. I got a flat in Little Alton on Eastern Way. Wow, the stories I can tell you from that flat. I think I was there for about 5 years longer. But dudes, that was the hood. Listen, there's a lot to this story, so it might be a little bit extended. So I had this flat, and I was just just young, just hustling, just trying to find my way. And I was off the rails. I was drinking all the time. Like I say, I was drinking a lot every day. I was more or less an alcoholic. This was probably the worst time of it. And it was like, so I had the flat. It was like an open door. Everybody used to come in. Everybody from Little Alton, everybody from Wharton. So it was like a bit of a party gaff. I was doing bits from there. The people, some lads, some dudes, some I'll mention, looked after me, sorted me out. Food when nobody else would. Respect them, because they must, I don't know, but look at me now. Because these other cunts treat me like a fucking idiot. But that's a different story. So, this flat was crazy. I was drinking every day. This story's mainly about when a set of immigrant lads, I think there was immigrants, there was all a set of like Africans, some African lads. They ended up moving to Walkden. I don't know how and I don't know why. I don't know why Salford Council put them there because they had a lot of racism to face, deal with, which I was like, in a way, part of defending. I didn't want, I don't care, I'm just about equality. So I was like, you can't treat them like that, because all the lads, like the gang, they was like, and then he even come to me, because this is what it was like being in sort of a gang from around that area, and he was like trying to even say to me, some of them, saying, Chrissy, you can't hang around with niggers. Like, what? You know, it's not the 1800s in fucking Mississippi. What the fuck are you going on about? Anyway, some of these lads were some of the best friends I've met. Abu, Joel, Malik, solid guys. These are solid guys, straight up, trustworthy, genuine guys. Some of them wasn't like Imran, shady as they come. Big Nas, he was okay. He lives still in Manchester now. Nice, good lad. Little Lewis, he was white, he was a good lad. Dre, he was alright, maybe not 100%, but Malik, Joel, like these, mate, you couldn't get better guys. So, these was my mates. Joel lived across the way. Joel and Malik had a flat each on the same block of 4 across the road from me on Eastern Way on the other side. So, like, we got to know each other in that sort of way. And then it was like, we used to drink and stuff. Like I say, it's like in them days you drinking cider and drinking in the daytime. I'd be at Joel's. We was really good friends. We could say we was best friends at one point. Malik was close to him, but there was also a language barrier because they didn't know that much English at this time. There was like, their English wasn't that good. There was French Africans. Abu was actually from France, but Joel was from Ivory Coast. Can't remember where Malik was from. Malik was French, and when I say French, I mean French. You cannot even understand the French that they're talking. It's like us, you know, like, imagine having like our Salford accent. Well, it's like that, but in French. So imagine. But like I said, good lads, really stand up, trustworthy guys. So like they was my sort of crew sort of thing. But I still knew all the lads from around the way, and some of them didn't like me hanging around with them. They used to fight. Sometimes they'd be in the pub, or they'd be fighting here and there in the road, in the street, and they sort of built up a little bit of beef with each other. And I was all just trying to, I was always trying to chill it, but like it used to get really bad. And then I remember Dicko, rest his soul, he's gone now, but I remember he had a car. I wasn't there on this day, robbed a car, and he drove it, and he was just going to drive it into their gaff, you know what I mean, straight off the road. And I remember I'd like drove the car into the garden or whatever. Crazy guy, Dicko. And then there was other times, like, there was loads of violence like that. There was another night, I think this was one of the worst nights actually. I don't know, they all tried to get in Dre's flat. Dre had another flat at the side on the block next to Malik and Joel. Like I said, I don't know how the council put them all in one little like spot like that. But Dre had his flat there. And one night, all my cousin and all of these other lads, part of the cat, like about 6 of them, all tried to get in Dre's flat because Dre used to have like girls there and have music on and that, and I'd be having parties, and it was a bottom flat. And in them days in Little Ulton, mate, it was like the fucking Wild West. I'm telling you, it was rough. They all tried to get in his gaff, and I was like, nah, I was having none of it. I tried to save him, but they all like overpowered. I was at the front door, wouldn't let them all in. He was like, what are you doing? They wanted to come in and beat him up, which they did. I was like, nah, you're not coming in, you're not doing it. He's a good lad, leave him alone. I was like, won't let him in, but then he was like pushed, like sort of overpowered me, 6 of them, and like pushed in the flat past me, and like went and like started beating Dre up. Don't know what happened after that. Yeah, all big commotion started. Joel come back, Malik come back. I remember these like, I think somebody had a baseball bat. Malik had a baseball bat, and they went and found him somewhere on the estate because I said, listen, they've all gone up there. I did it. I you know, all the lads from around the way said to me that I fell out with them a lot. I had a few fights over it because they was like fucking even disrespected me at Dre's gaff. So it was one of them. I said, listen, they've all gone up there. They battered Dre, pushed me out of a fucking way, and then they've all gone up there. So Malik ran up and fucking hit one of them with a baseball bat. It more or less ended like that night. But that was just one time. Another time, some of the French lads, they was there. I think they was in my flat. And like some of the lads come round to have a fight with them all, and even me. And then we had a bit of a scuffle in the flat, I think, and then we ended up getting in cars and going to Mike had that gaff in Bolton. So we went there a minute. But then something happened when I wasn't there. Joel and Malik, so I took the belts off and started whacking him with the belt buckles. I thought that was funny. But, yeah, so this was the normal everyday shit that happened. You know what I mean? Every day. So there was just that beef was going on all every summer. Didn't really die down much. Yeah, I think eventually it did, and eventually the lads just was accepted actually, and everyone used to more or less just let them get on with it, and even made friends with some of the lads from around the way. So I don't see Joel much. Don't see Malik like works on the doors in town. Could say it was good times. It wasn't at the time really. So like this time, Dicko, the legend, and Rico, and Callum. But what had happened is I don't know what had happened. I was in my flat. Some trouble had gone on. Someone had pissed me off somehow. Somebody seen him in a flat just further down than mine. Where my brother had a flat. It's on the other side of the road, but just further down Eastern Way. 3 of them was in there. I didn't know. Callum was in there, and Dicko and Rico. And anyway, so I grabbed my meat cleaver and I jogged down, and I seen which house they was in, and then fucking called them out, and they all come out, started going on about it, saying why you hanging around with them lads. So these are my old mates as well. You got to remember that. But they all sort of put a triangle around me. I was like backing off because I was like getting ready to fucking hit one of them with a meat cleaver. And my brother was in his flat and looked up at him to come out, but he didn't come out. Make what you want from that. But I just handled it myself. I didn't want him to come out anyway because one of them had a knife. I think it was Rico. And I was like, what are you doing? And he all started like, I was like, Dicko, we're good mates, so what the fuck are you? Don't even try it. Callum, you can fuck off, because I'd had an argument with Callum and told him to fuck off. I think I kicked him down the stairs, a few stairs or something like that. I was like, you just fuck off, Callum. But I didn't know Rico that well, and he just got out of jail, and he was like walking towards me more. I was like, Rico, I don't even fucking know you, so you can fuck off as well. And so I just started backing off a bit, because Callum and Dicko are going to be alright. I'm not going to You know what I mean? I'm not going to start. So I just really backed off and said, fucking Rico, see you later. Later on, Rico, seen him in the gaff another time, a few weeks later, and he was cool as they come, do you know what I mean? Good lad, Rico. But, yeah, that was a time when, like, you know what I mean? So he's like, your own boys, it's your own boys. I'll just try and fit one other time in. And this was to do with our own lot, our sort of little gang with Joel and everybody, and we had Tony Yayo, we used to call him. He was French as they come, couldn't understand a thing. I think he'd come up from London or something, Tony. But he was alright, he was a good guy. And like I mentioned before, little Lewis, he was white, he was from Little Lulton. And Nas, it was like me, Lewis and Nas, like we was close mates at one point. Bit of a team. Anyway, they must have fell out, something fell out of, I don't know how they fell out over it all, but Yayo fell out with Lewis. And this day, he was going fucking cray. And Yayo coming to my flat, and I put little Lewis. He was only little Lewis, but he was heart of a lion. You know what I mean? Scared of nothing, nobody. And so Yayo come in. He's like, Christian, I want Lewis. I said, Lewis, go in my bedroom. Just go in there and shut the door. It's like Yayo was a bit of a big lad. And I don't know if someone else was with him. And I was like, nah, you're not taking him. And then Yayo was like, Chris, we're taking him to London. I was like, what? And he was being serious. So like he's trying to wrestle past me to get in the bedroom and get him to take him to London. I said, no fucking way, get out, Yayo. It was pure like energy. I don't know what it was. Everything was chaos at that time in life. So I remember didn't let him get him eventually. I didn't let him get to him. So he just went away. But that was another time. Oh God, yeah, Louis, crazy guy. I'll see you in the next episode.